We are recording now.
Uh-oh. Food.
Okay. All right. So
hold on 1 second. Go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. So welcome back to day 2 of our intro class. Like I said, I wanted to start with the syllabus. I believe it's up in the files section, so you can certainly follow along if you would like to. Basically, we want to reach out and improve the retention and engagement of the adult education student by preparing you for your pursuit of a Maryland high school diploma. We will cover some of the math, reading, writing, post-secondary opportunities and barrier identification. And some of that will be through Essential Ed. Some of that will be through some of the other assignments like the MWE, the Maryland Workforce Exchange assignment, some of the resources and opportunities such as the Western Maryland Consortium. We just asked that you attended an orientation session and took one of the placement tests, one of the assessment tests, which you have both done that. We talked a little bit about identifying barriers to success. Talk a little bit more about that today. We talked a little bit on Monday about available resources to assist you. Attendance, I mean, I know some of you work, you have kids, you have other responsibilities, but I mean, you've made it this far. How have you guys, has it been easy to access the assignments? Have you gotten any kind of error messages? Have you had a chance to look at it? What is your input on the assignments so far?
Good.
I've gotten most of them done.
Okay.
I didn't yet.
Okay. But I think we had to change something from our end, like with the permissions or something like that, one of the settings. So have you been able to access everything? Is there anything where it's like kicked you out or asked you for your... Okay.
I've been able to get into all of it with no problem.
Okay, wonderful. That is I'm glad to hear that. Okay.
I got a question though.
Go ahead.
I got an issue at the moment. I was supposed to go get food before I started and I forgot. My mom ordered food for me to go around the corner and grab it, and I didn't remember until like a minute ago.
Okay, well,
it's done. It's already already done to go. I just got to pay for it and leave. But
okay, do what you got to do. That's fine.
Is it okay if I pause this for a minute and like have it on mute until I come back in a minute?
Sure.
Is that okay for sure?
That's okay.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you. We'll see you as soon as you get back. Okay. Let's see what else. I feel like all of this, you know. So that's really just a brief overview of some of the topics that we'll be covering. But again, you already knew that. And then the handbook, I think the student handbook was one of the assignments. I think you were able to access that.
Yep, I read it. I did everything with it. Yep.
Okay. Let me see. I'm just going to talk about it briefly for anyone who does watch the recording. I mean, kind of like we said in the orientation, like you are in charge of this journey. That this is your journey. We can try to help you as much as we can get through it a little more quickly, but ultimately it is going to be up to you. We talked about the two different programs. Catherine Ann, have you given any thought to which you would rather do, the GED route or the NEDP route?
GED, definitely.
Okay. Attendance, again, we can't force you, to attend your online classes, but we do strongly encourage that so that you can get the instructional time you need and brush up on the skills that you need to in order to take those tests. So we certainly encourage you to attend. We're going to protect your privacy. Holiday closing, kind of the good thing about the virtual world is, when we have snow or ice and snow days, you used to have to cancel class, but now we can at least still have class and still meet. So that's at least one positive thing about snow days, I guess. No makeup days. We talked about like where the actual classes are held, but really now everything's just online and virtual. Did you have any questions on the handbook, Annie?
No.
Okay. All right. Let me see my papers in front of me here.
The only thing I've had a problem with this whole program was getting used to the keyboard on the computer.
Oh, interesting.
The keyboard's a little different than most keyboards that I've used.
Huh. How would you say it's different, do you
There
think?
is no right click, so you have to use keyboard shortcuts.
Oh.
There is no caps lock either.
So how would you know that if you didn't know that shortcut already? Did you already know that, or you figured it out?
I figured it out. Because
Oh,
I tried to
man.
right click and it just left clicked it and just selected it, and I was like, oh, that's not supposed to do that.
Interesting. So then how do you right click?
Well, the only reason it's not exactly how you right click, it's what you want to do. If you want to like copy something, you use the left click, you select everything in highlighted, and you press Control C and it copies it. And when you want to paste it, you hit Control V.
Okay.
I actually learned those when I was in exploring computer science class in high school.
Okay, good pointers. Thank you for sharing that. So I just went and tried to find some things off the internet. Just some things for you to think about as far as habits of successful people. I posted the one thing I think under this channel, just and see how many of these things you do yourself. This first one is habits of successful people. So successful people read daily. They compliment people instead of criticize people. They embrace change, are continuously learning, accept responsibility for their actions, are goal oriented. So think of if some of those characteristics apply to you, and hopefully they do. And here, this was a really good one. I liked it. It's kind of like a side-by-side comparison of successful people versus unsuccessful people. So like instead of, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a couple of these here. Instead of fearing change, you embrace change. Or instead of holding a grudge, you forgive others. Instead of blaming others for failures, you accept responsibility for your own actions, whether it's a success or a failure. Maybe cut down on your screen time, whether that's on the phone, on the computer, on a tablet, and read more. You know, just sharing ideas and sharing information rather than like keeping it all to yourself, or talking about people instead of talking about, you know, ideas and idea sharing. So hopefully just some tips to help you be successful along the way. Again, I don't just want to read everything to you, but oh, and I feel like this is so important just for so many reasons. Getting enough rest, you know, taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health. So, you know, not only getting enough rest at night, but, you know, getting enough movement during the day, or, you know, practicing some kind of relaxation or meditation or something to help ease your anxiety, or help calm your fears, or help you calm down if you feel that coming on. You know, just really trying to practice self-care in whatever that looks like for you, you know, whether that's taking a nap or reading a book, or, you know, doing your nails, or going for a walk, you know, cuddling with your dog. It looks different for everyone. So whatever that is you need to take care of yourself, please do that, and please do that, you know, in a healthy way. And this is just 7 ways to stay motivated. Reward yourself, you know, even if it's rewarding yourself when you hit a small goal. And again, it can be something you treat yourself to, like that you buy yourself, or it can be one of those other things we already mentioned. You know, reward yourself by having a spa night. You know, I don't know, if you like to take a bath, or if you like to do a face mask, or if you like to just relax by the fire, or relax with your pet or your significant other, or a friend. Rewarding yourself. Keep on learning. I feel like so many of us are lifelong learners. You know, you probably have either taught yourself, or you may learn about yourself that you want to continue to learn, either through some sort of certification, or you know, continuing your education either through Allegheny College or somewhere else. Or just reading. You know, I had the library call me earlier and say, "Oh, a book you requested is available." So just know, you know, in the library, you guys, they have books on like everything. I mean, cookbooks if you're into that. Self-help and self-care books if you're into that. Help me out here. The kind of like the anime, the comic,
Manga.
okay, yes, those, I mean, they have everything, and it's free. You know, you just need your library card, and if you need a library card, they can help you get one. I know most of the local libraries anyway aren't open or functioning like they were back in the old days, I like to call it, but they still have like a curbside pickup. So, you know, take advantage of that. Challenge yourself. You know, remember what motivates you. Remember you're doing this for you. Kind of remember your why. Why are you doing this? Why now? And use that to help you keep moving forward. And I know you've heard all this 100 times, so I'm sorry that it's repetitive, but just thinking about your goals. I know you've probably all heard of SMART goals. You know, SMART is kind of like the I forget what that's called, but each letter stands for something different. So you want to create goals that are specific, that are measurable, that are attainable, that are realistic, and that are, what's the last T? See, you guys probably know this. I don't know. I'm blanking on the last T. But just, setting goals for yourself to help keep you in balance. It might be what you want to accomplish. Maybe you want to accomplish, taking these GED tests and earning your high school diploma. So that would be a what goal. A why goal would be why you want to accomplish these things. Is it something personal? Is it something your family is encouraging you to do? Is it do you have a health goal? I feel like a lot of people this time of year especially have health goals or resolutions. They want to lose weight, they want to exercise and all this. And honestly, I feel like so many times you just end up giving up on that because you don't get immediate results. But I've seen a lot of people this year are setting an intention. They're calling it an intention instead of a resolution, and it's just one word. It's like I've seen people use growth or light or inspire. So think about if you had to set an intention for yourself, what one or couple words might that be? And if anybody wants to share, feel free to share. Or you might set a how goal. How are you going to achieve what it is that you want? Or how are you going to break it down into more achievable steps? And that might have something to do with personal or professional growth. Or like I said, it might just have to do with, okay, I'm going to take my first practice test, my first GED practice test 2 weeks from now. And then I'm going to, 2 weeks after that, I'm going to take another one. And you guys, these GED practice tests, and especially you, Annie, and Sandra, if you catch the recording, Amanda,
I'm back.
Okay, Amanda, you will get there. You're just not quite there yet. But Annie and Sandra, I feel like you guys you're ready for a GED practice test. So that's something we can talk about more on like our one-on-ones on Friday. We can talk about which one you want to start with, which one you're most comfortable starting with, and kind of go ahead and start that process. Your scores were where they need to be, and where we usually start to encourage students, like, hey, you're probably pretty close to, taking a practice test, seeing if you're, likely to pass, not likely to pass, or if it's too close to call, and then going from there. And Amanda, like I said, you're not quite there yet, but I have faith that you will get there.
I will.
Yeah. So this last thing I want to share with you, it was actually, I found this on, I feel like it was a blog, someone's blog, and it's someone who must be in they must have their own small business or something like that, because it talks a little bit about business goals and things like that. So this is called Know Who's in Your Circle versus Your Corner. And we talked a little bit about that on one of the slides, but this person in particular is saying they feel like the people in their circle, they're kind of like out here. They're more of like acquaintances or people you might know to say hi to, whereas the people in your corner, they're like really your biggest cheerleaders. They're the ones who really want to see you succeed and are there to help you succeed. So this person says, most of the people who are in your circle are your acquaintances, and they're people you might have common interests with. You might have fun with them occasionally. They might come to your, this is why I said it, I feel like it must be some kind of business event. They come to your events just to see how it turns out. They might not stay very long. You know, if it's something like you need help moving or you need help doing something, they're just gonna go missing. They're not gonna be the ones who are gonna help you out in a pinch. You know, they might be the people who say like, well, remind me about it when it gets closer to the date, but they really might have no intention of showing up. So they're saying they're not really invested in you, and it can include your family. So that's kind of interesting. It puts it in an interesting perspective, and I know families can be super complicated. But it could be someone in your family who you feel like is not really invested in you. But, and I'm going to say she, because I don't really know if this is a he or a she. She says that the people in your corner, now that's like the chosen ones. They're golden. They are they'll be there. They'll show up. They'll help. They support you. You know, they'll go to battle for you or with you. They are the ones that are jumping in, like I said, to cheer you on, to help you win. Again, the people out here in your circle, they might never know your personal stuff. They might come and go, you know, they're in your life for a while and they float out and maybe they come back in. They don't always have your best interest at heart. And again, I feel like that's super important. And everyone knows someone like this. Everyone can relate to someone, an acquaintance, a family member who their intentions aren't always good, or they're not always pure. They don't always have your best interest at heart. Maybe they have like an alternate, they're trying to get attention or whatever for themselves. It's like I said, I feel like we all know someone like that. And this talks about, look at the person you're in a relationship with. You know, are they, how supportive or not supportive are they of you? You know, are they in your circle or in your corner? Are they with you first to benefit themselves somehow? This person says they had an ex who was constantly pointing the finger at other people, saying how toxic these other people were and why she didn't need them, when really it turns out this person, this significant other, was the toxic person in the relationship. You know, that he was always coming up with every excuse in the book, turning his back on her, not supporting her. You know, they would argue. So think about, you know, whether it's a significant other, whether it's a parent, a close friend or a best friend, think about those closest to you. And I hope that you have a supportive team around you. You know, this person says maybe your circle is very big, like maybe you're a very social person, so you just naturally, you know, are gonna talk to someone you see on the street or at a restaurant or in a store. You're just naturally very social, so you're naturally going to talk to a lot of people. But maybe the people in your corner are very small. Maybe those people that really know you deep down is very small. they kind of end this by saying, surround yourself with people who want to see you succeed. And this next part is very important. Never hide your talents in the shadows to make others comfortable. That just really struck me because I feel like how often do we do that? You might not shine your brightest because you're trying not to overshadow someone else.
Yep.
Or I don't know. Like I said, you don't want to, you might not even realize you're doing it, but maybe you're not doing something to your potential just because you want to keep everybody happy. You want to keep the peace kind of
That's
thing.
what I do.
So yeah, do you want to share about that any more?
Yeah.
Amanda?
Sure.
Okay.
I help others before I worry about myself.
Yes, and that's another thing I think as women and as mothers, we do. We put the needs of other people first. Yes. Definitely.
So it's like you need to take care of yourself before others for like your career or your schooling or something important. Like you got to take care of yourself first before others.
Right. Yeah, we talked just a little bit about that while you were gone, just how important self-care is. And whether that is, going for a walk around the block just to clear your head, or whether you, treat yourself to do your nails or to take a bubble bath or whatever it is you like to do. Just how important it is to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others, getting enough rest at night, trying to eat the right foods. All of it is so hard. And
especially helping others that don't want to see you succeed for anything. Like it's not worth helping somebody else just for them to not be there for you in the end.
Yes. And I think that's what this author is saying. There's you're going to meet a lot of people along the way, and some of them are going to be very supportive of you, and some of them are not, and some of them are probably going to do everything in their power to see you fail.
Yes.
So, yes. Any other examples or input or anything anyone wants to share?
I do. Example of like saying like my kids are in school now and they need my help, so I'm there for them to make them go through with it to help them graduate in the end.
Right.
Because or like them going to karate as my kids do go to karate, and I tell them that they're not quitting. They gotta keep on going because they're not a failure.
Yeah.
They keep going. They're leaders.
Yes. Okay. Very good.
So I'm supportive on that.
Okay. And that, sometimes, and I have 3 stepdaughters. And this might cause me to be a little emotional. So I'm sorry if that happens. My youngest stepdaughter was taking gymnastics and she didn't want to go and don't make me go. And I was that parent that said, you started this, you're going to finish it.
Exactly.
And she was bawling, I was bawling. I hated that I dropped her off and then left. But don't you know it, that later on she wrote me a note, and I still have this note. This has been years ago, that says, thank Mel, call me Mel. Thank you, Mel, for making me go to class that night. And we practiced this, and this move. And even though I didn't get my, back bend walkover, so she actually thanked me for that. And like I said, I saved that just because it meant so much to me. And it was so hard for me to do that. But
she thanked you in the end for it. So
she did. Yes. And it's just, I mean, it's just a challenge. I mean, blended families and co-parenting, like it's tough. It can be very tough.
Yes.
When you are trying to, I kind of jokingly say, like, I'm bad cop. My husband's good cop. I'm bad cop. I'm not even their mom, but I'm the one that's like, they dyed their hair over the weekend.
Yeah.
Quite similar to your pink color there. And I'm like, look, you guys, I don't care. I don't mind if you dye your hair. Clean up after yourselves. So the bathtub's stained pink. It's on the wall, it's on the floor, it's on the countertops. Like, just take responsibility for your actions and clean up after yourselves.
Yes.
Actually, I used to dye
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead, hon.
I used to dye my hair a lot, and I actually dyed our bathroom sink blue. Like, the entire sink ended up blue.
Yes, now why didn't you just clean up after yourself?
The worst part is I tried. We had a white sink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was like a light gray bathtub, but I'll tell you what, I got in there. I am the one that scrubbed it because I just knew. I knew what it was going to look like. So I scrubbed it before they got up the next morning and said, get the stuff that's still on the walls, on the floor, on the cabinets, because I didn't get all that. But yeah, it happens. And thankfully, I'm thankful anyway, that most of the pink came up. Did the blue ever come out of the sink?
I don't remember. We got a new sink.
Okay.
Just like my hair.
That was like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
My hair's pink's coming out.
My hair actually still has some pink dye in it from the last time I dyed it, but it's all in the tips and you can barely see it anymore.
Yeah. So that's really all I wanted to share today with you guys, was just trying to kind of give you, a pep talk and tell you that we are here to help you as much as we can and to cheer you on. But at some point we got to let go of that bike. When you're trying to ride a bike or teaching your kids how to ride a bike, you got to let go.
Yep.
And you got to do it on your own at some
We're
point.
leaders, we can do it.
Okay, that's a good outlook to have. That's a positive outlook to have.
No quitting, we can do it.
Yeah. And you probably are going to have to make some sacrifices. You might be like having to stay up late or do work in the middle of the night or after the kids go to bed or before they get up in the morning, or working around someone else's schedule, or trying to get your transportation worked out. So you're going to have all kinds of these roadblocks that pop up along the way, but we want to try to get you thinking about it now so that you can detour around that when it comes time, instead of quitting or giving up. We want to, life happens, people get divorced, there's death, there's freaking COVID. So all this stuff is happening, and then we just have to figure out, we can do this. We can have this virtual meeting. So, we've had to learn a lot. The kids with their virtual school, we've had to do a lot of things differently. We've had to adapt and modify and accommodate, and you can do that.
But what's crazy is these days, I don't know how to do none of their math. I don't know how to do none of their whatever they got these days. And it's like, really, like, I can't do their work at all because I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
And they're teaching things differently than they did probably when you were in school too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So I'm like, I can't be a teacher at home, so hopefully they'll be in school soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, having said all that, that is
My
really
kids
all.
don't know. My daughter don't know that I have no high school diploma. I tell her that I do. That way she'll graduate.
Okay.
So she thinks I'm in college right now.
Well, and I mean that's okay.
I
They
have
can,
to because I don't want her to go the same path I did.
yeah.
So I want my kids to graduate and go to college.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm lying, but I'm not lying at the same time.
Well, and I mean they'll see you, doing your work and all.
Exactly.
It's your time to do your school, and yeah, hopefully it will all work out.
My friends from high school, some of them are like, I wish I could just drop out, and I immediately tell them, no, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think once people kind of see how much time is involved, they kind of wish they would have stayed in and stuck it out, especially if it was only for another year or two. And
Yeah, like me. I only
yeah,
had, well, I
yeah,
had 4 more years, but if I did what I was supposed to the first year, I would have only had 1 more year left.
oh wow. So you can, I've never taken the tests, but I hear people say how hard it is to pass, especially that darn math. Oh, Amanda, that was something I wanted to ask you. Do you think you would like to go the GED route or NEDP route, or have you?
And EDP because I tried it before because that there is easier for me to do. Like I don't know why, but it is.
Okay.
I want to do that so bad, like really bad.
Okay.
I know I can do this, and I want it, so I want to do it.
Okay. So you want?
If I can't afford it, like for the stuff, my kid's pap will pay for it for me. So I'm not too worried for the money wise.
Yeah, and again, there's funding sources out there. You kind of cut out on part of that.
Well, but anyways, my kid's pap will pay for me, or my mom will.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it for the money wise.
So yeah.
Just so I graduate, I'm good to go.
Okay. When we do our one-on-ones on Friday, do you want to just meet in the afternoon? Is there a
It don't matter whenever.
different time that works for you guys?
It don't matter
Earlier?
to me.
Early is better for me.
Okay. How early, Annie?
I'd say around 10 or 11, something like that.
Okay. Can I give you a call at about 11:30 on Friday?
Yeah, that'll work.
Will that work? Okay, so 11. Do you want to meet on here like this, or just a phone call?
On here is fine.
Okay.
It's probably easier since I use my mom's phone.
Okay.
Also, speaking of which, I should be changing the phone number I've given you soon, because I'm getting my own phone. In a few days, my SIM card will be coming in, so.
Okay. Very good.
But I'll let you know when I get that all set up and it's working.
Okay, thank you. Amanda, what is a good time to check in with you on Friday?
3 o'clock's okay if you want to do that.
Okay.
If it's available for you.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to talk on the phone or do like through
on here?
On here. Okay.
Yep.
All righty. We can do that. We briefly went over the syllabus and handbook. If between now and Friday you have any questions or have any trouble accessing the assignments, please give me a call, send me a chat, send me an email, and I will do my best to respond to you in a timely manner and get you the answers you need. Also, I haven't checked the Essential Ed, but if you have not logged on to the Essential Ed site yet, please, please, please get on there and at least check it out, navigate around a little bit, or just make sure you can sign in. I think did both of you go home with this green paper?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so I think I wrote on there, and Debbie mentioned it the other day, it's the essentialed.com, but it has to be the slash, has to have the / in it. It should also be a tab up in the top of this team. Let me see if it is or not. Your username is your email address, and your password. Okay, yeah, Essential Ed is up here as a tab across the top. Password is at capital ACMABE1 exclamation. So go to that, click on that Essential Ed tab, put in your email address as your username, put in that password, click on login, and then old Leonard should be there and he'll start talking to you, and you can make your way through that website. We just want to make sure you don't have, there's no bugs or anything we need to work out there, because a lot of once we put you in your official class, you'll do a lot of work in that platform as well.
I've already done 2 hours of work on it today.
All right, you guys are on the ball. Very good.
I got a question too.
Yes, go for
What teacher will I have, and how would do that? Like the same as you're doing?
it. Yes, we'll discuss it more on Friday. And I think you are probably going to be a good fit for Mr. Burns' class.
Yes.
Okay, so just you already know him, you already kind of had him as a teacher, and his class actually meets in the evenings.
Good.
But I'll give you all that information on Friday when we talk.
Okay.
All right. All right, let me stop recording. Yes, I want to stop.
I